Welcome, welcome. Everybody's coming in. What I'd like, we've got several hundred people that are coming in right now. If you guys don't mind, do me a favor, please move your mouse and you can go to the chat box, which looks like a little message bubble. It's to the left or the right of your green share screen button. Just please click on that and you can just type away. Tell us who you are and where you're from. We love to hear from you. And I'm also going to ask you guys, if you wouldn't mind, please turn your cameras off and we're going to mute you because we don't want to hear from you. No, I'm kidding. Okay. We just want to maintain all our bandwidth. Oh my gosh, look where all these people are from. San Antonio, Texas, California, Vermont, Maryland, Northbrook, Illinois, North Carolina, New York City, Denver, Michigan, oh my goodness, Massachusetts, Los Angeles, Louisiana, Missouri. Where are you? You guys are insane. This is awesome. We love doing these things. And we've got a lot of people, they're just like packing it in. We have 45 minutes, which in my mind is like way too little for us to pick the brains of these brilliant people we have on our panel. So I'm just going to launch right in. I'm Sarah Cooperman. I'm the CEO of SCW Fitness. I'm stuck here. I'm planted here in Chicago with my husband and my two children and my dog. And we just got our masks in the mail. I'm very excited. And I heard that Atlanta, Georgia is opening up on Friday and you can go there and get a manicure. So I may be taking a flight. I don't know. I'm not quite sure yet. We're going to be talking today about social media. I have the wonderful Tricia Murphy-Madden. She's internationally renowned fitness educator and a national education director for several fitness companies, including Bar Above. Lawrence Viscontini is an international fitness presenter, and he's authored, I think, almost half of the SCW certifications, especially yoga and active aging. He's a marvelous educator. Jessica Maurer, who is an exceptional presenter and actually did our keynote at the most recent DC Mania. She's a social media and online manager for several top well-known companies and personalities. And we have Kia Williams. She has a master's degree in recreation and sports management, so that's why she's wearing glasses. She's smarter than all of us. She has managed fitness and wellness programs and facilities across the country, as well as running her own successful podcast. So I'm just thrilled to have these people here, and we are going to launch into this. We are talking about social media, the good, the bad, the ugly, what we're going to do after this pandemic, and what we can continue to do during the pandemic and help our clients. If you've got any comments, please type them in the chat box. Again, if you move your mouse, you can see the little bubble. Click it in there. My staff will text me. I'll make sure to make note of it. I'm going to launch right in. And Lawrence, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm the Brady Bunch, but you're right next to me. So you're the first one I'm going to talk to. How has the pandemic forever changed the course of social media? What are your thoughts? And you might want to unmute yourself.
Thank you for giving me the potential to unmute myself.
Sorry.
Sarah of SCW. Good evening to everyone tuning in, or good morning to those of you in Asia. The pandemic is forever changed with social media, and social media has changed because of the pandemic, because now the world is level. We are level because social media, again, is real. We're not seeing the price or the qualities of the suite you can afford in some resort that might be in the Maldives or Madagascar. We are all posting real food and real issues and real quarantine or retreat perspectives, depending on which word you choose to use from where you are now, and we're more realistic and we're trusting each other. Like when social media started, we're back there with being real and authentic and trustworthy and putting out real stories of where we really are. I remember in the beginning of all of this, when social media was starting, people were starting to put pictures that were from their old bank. Well, that didn't go very well because people were saying, how can you be having a picnic on the beaches when they're closed? And then they had to retract or say, old picture, family photo, vacation 3 years ago. No one's doing that anymore. We are real, we are social, we are current, and we are servicing each other with connection and community.
Very nice. Anyone else? Trisha.
I think that the good news is we're now interacting with our social media following. So we're not just putting content out there blindly. It's not just throwing it out there and waiting to see who likes it. We're actually communicating with both our customers as fitness instructors or personal trainers or fitness club owners, but just as friends and as family, we're starting to interact. It's less about look at me and it's more like talk to me. And I think that's a major difference. I'm not just waiting for my followers from my local gym to like my workouts. I'm waiting to see how they did with the workouts. And now we're interacting. And I think that's such a much healthier place to be. And I think FOMO, the nicest part about all of this is for once FOMO is gone. I don't have to worry. I'm not missing out on anything. I'm nowhere. You're not at a party, I'm not.
And what do you think some of the fitness pros, I mean, obviously everybody who's on this webinar wants to know what they can do to grow their social media followings and also leverage their social media followings. What do you think, Trisha?
I'll take that one.
Okay, Kia, go ahead, please.
Sure, thanks. I think that this has created a great opportunity for us to truly examine our brand potential and impact, and also to reestablish our brand positioning and our presence online. So it's opportunity, what I'm witnessing that's happening online is the opportunity for cross-branding, cross-marketing, cross-collaboration, which is a beautiful thing. So that's widening your reach for your potential consumers or customers. People are just creating a la carte groups. We're seeing challenges pop up here and there. So as fitness pros continue to lean into those sort of trends, they're generating a lot more chatter online that's keeping us relevant and exciting.
Very nice. And Jessica?
Yeah, to tie into that, I really think that social media has gone back to being about social. It's being about connection and camaraderie and community. And it's gone away from this egotistical place and more of a place of how can I help you? How can I inspire you, motivate you, or educate you in a way that you're able to do this and we can make it all through together. Whereas before, I think social media was a lot more about bringing in your customer base. Now social media is much more about actually fostering the communication and the connections you have with your current base.
Very interesting. And I think that it's very important for us to look at this in other ways, that we love all the social media hype that's going on, the communication going on, but I want you guys at home to think about this will end and people won't have 8 hours a day to be on social media or connect. So I want to encourage all of you that if you're putting out information on Facebook, if you're teaching classes that are on Zoom, if you're opening things up, try to capture the names, the emails, the cell phone numbers, because we want to transition them into clients, not something fluid. We want to use those waves of fluidity to really grow our ocean of clients, let's say. So how can we monetize and take this social media with us and really try to survive this pandemic? Lawrence, Jessica, I promise I'll get to you, but Lawrence, you mentioned that you don't want to just throw classes out there and say, send me a donation. You had a wonderful solution that we were chatting about. All right, SCW, can we?
Thank you.
Go ahead, Lawrence. Thank you.
When we're putting ourselves out there, whether it's publicly or privately, and we're putting all the ways where people can make contributions to our professional services as wellness providers, It's important that we write down and use those words. And I know some of you are going to put them in the comments now. Contributions to our professional services. In the title before I go live or I name my Zoom room, I'm going to put my copy paste that I create with my Venmo and Zelle or Zeely and my Apple Pay and my PayPal Me and my PayPal and all ways that my country might allow me to accept payments professionally as a copy paste, my name, my theme, welcome, and I'm going to use the verbiage, please make contributions to my professional services that you are enjoying. My participants, my tribe, my community, my trimunity. Donations are important, but they're for the Salvation Army. They're for the Red Cross. Those are for the people who are really floundering with civil unrest right now. We are professionals who stay certified. We go to manias, we go to SCW online and live certifications, and we keep ourselves up on what's going on in our community and spread messages of wellness. We are not donation takers. We accept contributions for our professional services.
It's interesting because my yoga instructor, I'm sitting here under here wearing all my yoga clothes because I'm going to finish this and go take my yoga class. And she talks about donations. And I still do enjoy that in this yogic sense. I actually gave her more than I would normally pay for the $15 a class. So I thought that was interesting, but I love that, Lawrence. I think that really, really helps. I think somebody else raised their hand. Who was that? That was Jessica. And then Trisha. Jessica, can you?
Yeah, absolutely. I have no problem with people doing donations if it's a free class that you're opening up for the community as a way to bring people onto your business or into your business. But Lawrence is right. Like, we have to stop pretending that this is a hobby and respect ourselves as professionals. So while you may go out there and do a few community free classes as a way to lead gen and provide for your community in a hyper local level, we have to respect ourselves enough to know that you still have to charge for your actual existence. People aren't expecting to go to your group fitness class in person for free unless it is a community event. It should be the same way in a virtual world.
Very good. Trisha?
I just think now we have to look at, we now have to look forward 2 weeks as opposed to looking at now. So everything we've just done in the past 3 to 4 weeks is what it is. It's actually, so far, it's like now last week, I don't know if you guys feel like that, like everything changes week to week. Now, fitness instructors and trainers and clubs need to be working some like connected, because the club owners need to be working with the instructors, maybe even paying them their regular fee to now draw the members back in. Because remember, clubs are now in the retain current customers and hope to goodness they come back, or else their business is gone. They're not in a growth pattern. So I feel like now the content that we're putting out there as instructors needs to be completely paired with the clubs that we work for if we want jobs. Because if you have a following who's paying you $5 a class or $2 a class, that is great, but how do you transition that following back into the facility if you want to, unless you want to stay home teaching classes? You need to make this conversion very quickly in the next 2 to 4 weeks so that you're working with your partner, which is your employer.
I think that's very wise. I think, unfortunately, sometimes we think, oh, now I've got all this social media following and I'm making, several $100s, every morning for my class, and I'm just going to keep doing this. The reality is people are going to go back to work. I'm dying to go back to my yoga studio. I'm just dying. I kept up my YMCA membership for that reason. I want to go back to the Y as well. So I think as instructors, as personal trainers, we need to stay connected to our owners. And I agree, Trisha, we need to really do that. Lawrence, you're nodding your head.
I agree. I think fitness works all the time, and all professional services get compensated appropriately. And I see so many people putting out free talent. And then I saw some instructors saying that they were accepting donations and then contributions. And I'm happy now to be getting some emails from instructors who are saying, I built up such a following from people far beyond my demographic and time zone who are part of me now. I think I have another career. Not that I'm not going back, whatever that means in whatever capacity as we know it, but I think we've now dimensionalized what we've never had in our fitness profession. We've never had resilience planning. We've never had resilience mentality. Well, we have resilience now. We are buying ring lights, and no one knew the term ring light 3 weeks ago. And we're learning from boomer to zoomer in 5 hours right here. That happened. And all of a sudden, we're relearning things that I think have aspects of our new business plan moving forward. Nothing is going to replace. I think we have some aspects of saying, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, and I want to continue to go back to a new normal of some kind of fitness environment if I work for a specific environment or a different kind of club and a different kind of platform.
And we're having, I've seen this several times in the chats. People are asking, you know, what do I do when someone at my club is offering a free class and I'm asking for professional contributions? Somebody else suggested call it investments. I love that term. How do we balance that? And my answer is it's all about value. It's all about what are we providing our clients. Kia, please
I would
share.
absolutely agree with you. It's all about the value of the experience. Right now, what we're seeing that what's taking place online is people are filming from their homes. So it's not like the most elite setup of a production company. So is your company able to support you in that? And also, I hope that instructors remember the loyalty of their following, of their consumers, of their engagers. And we have such loyal individuals that they want to engage with us online. And they also don't want you to go hungry. So they are willing to pay you for their services as they were in the past. So people who engaged with you, yes, Lauren, praise, amen. So people who engaged with you at your studio, at your gyms, who have had their memberships put on hold, maybe they still have that revenue or that money to be able to pay you a la carte or on the side. What I also hope that group fitness and personal trainers remember that this is an opportunity for disruptive innovation. So you can change the game right now. And for what I know on social media, it's a free medium to use. So that's free to you. You're not investing anything more than maybe your time or money on a cute outfit or a ring light, as you all just mentioned. I got to get one of those too. But there's a way to shake up the industry, yeah, to change things, to change focus. But you asked, how can we monetize this? What I'm also researching and following a lot of fitness innovators do is that they are associating themselves with a product that symbolizes the identity of their target consumer or their target audience, or that aligns with their original mission and vision statement. And so when you align with a product, something that's not going away, that helps you keep that income coming, even though things change within your life.
And I think that that's very important to do, Kia. I think people have to understand it's okay to send your kids to college. It's okay to put food on the table. We deserve to make the money. We do this because we love what we do and we want to be loved. And the more followers I have and the more people that are coming to my free Facebook class, the more I'm loved. But I also have to realize I have responsibilities. We all have, you know, we have to pay our rent, we have to pay our mortgages and things like that. And Tricia, you wanted to add something?
Well, I just wanted to say, you know, the person who's asking the question about what do you do if your neighboring instructor, maybe it's even your best friend who teaches with you at that health club is offering for free. You know, we only need our followers. You know, it's not about how many followers you have. It's about the people who you are. It's about whoever's showing up for what you're offering. So whatever they're offering is none of your business. And there's so much good content out there that anybody who chooses us in our living rooms and not some of the most, you can scroll through any advertisements. There's some beautiful bar classes for free online right now. But my 30 customers that showed up today for me and for each other, not just me, for each other. And
I'm
yeah.
going to ask you something that I think is very important, because I think you'll have an answer for this. Got a wonderful question on here. How do I transition from offering a free class, because I didn't realize I should get Venmo, I should get PayPal? How do I transition to then getting paid? How do I take that leap?
It's an easy leap to take. If you're providing good quality product, if you yourself don't value yourself enough to say, listen, we've been in this for 4 weeks or how many ever weeks in your community. I have been bleeding teaching all of you in my living room, and I love you so much, but I have to charge you now for what I'm doing. I can no longer do this for free. As a service to you, that's how I'd spin it. I've wanted to give of myself, but I can no longer do that because the time it takes me to put together this incredible content for you is a professional service. I have years of experience. It is something I'm compensated to do. And I think if you can't own that, then don't charge and probably get out of the business, because you're not, like, to me, like, there's just no, you have to have enough confidence to say that. And I think I would say this is the most important thing. The minute you say this, you will be respected more by that group of, we all just have our truest fans, right? Tim Ferriss's podcast was my favorite ever. You only need your truest fans, and they will pay you. Even if you've been charging nothing, they will start to pay you.
And Jessica.
I was going to go back to, you were asking what to do when you have someone who's doing it for free versus you. And I go back to the idea of there are different radio stations for different people. And the person who's doing the class next to me is going to attract people who listen to her radio station, whereas I'm going to attract people who want to listen to my radio station. And there's nothing wrong with that. We have billions of people on the planet who need to move right now, and we shouldn't be threatened that someone likes hip hop more than they like rock. So we should let them choose what works best for them, even if it, like Trisha, to her point, your truest fans are going to pay you. They're going to come to you because they like your radio station the most. We can't feel threatened by the fact that they have a preference to go to somewhere else. We need to come together as a community within ourselves as fitness professionals and say, you may not like my style, but so-and-so right here is doing this 30 minutes after me, and you may like her style more, or vice versa, or work with that person in order to create a partnership where you guys can work as partners together to make more people in your community move.
I think that's wonderful. And we're getting a lot of questions of people are saying, how do I run the Zoom classes? How do I run the Facebook classes? So we've got some experts online here, but we've also got some people that are just starting out. We've gotten this question on multiple webinars. I just want everyone to know who's listening that we typically do probably 2 to 3 free webinars a week during this time. Hot Topic Tuesday, Faculty Friday, and we do Sit Up on Sunday. Sit Up on Sunday, this Sunday, we're doing a webinar on how to run the Zoom and the Facebook, and where to get that ring light, what sound system. The worst thing is, oh my gosh, how can I play my music and my voice? And we've got some affordable options for you, and we've got some not so affordable options. But again, if you're asking them to invest in you and invest in themselves, you should also invest in yourselves. And this is not anything that SCW is selling. It's just, frankly, stuff we found on Amazon and eBay. Somebody raised their hand. I think it was Lawrence was talking about, or I wanted to ask you about, it's how do we transition to go from free to being paid? And somebody wrote in the chat box, don't be afraid. And she actually worried about the people that were giving everything away for free, rather than the people that were charging. And again, it's that integration with the club we need to have, because our clubs are going to open up and fewer people are going to be exercising online. We want them to come back in the facilities. But now is the time to really realize, as group fitness people, a lot of us are the group fitness people and the personal trainers, our club owners are finally realizing our value, because we are the ones that have built our communities. And somehow, you guys, help me here, you wonderful people on this panel. How do we leverage that? How do we get our managers and owners to understand and appreciate our value? And everybody's staring. Trisha, yay.
So one of the things I did on Sunday, I was actually sitting in our health club on the back end of a little production, and I was sitting there and I said, I have all this information to compile for this club I work for, and I just am an instructor there. And so I sat there and I just brain dumped everything from, I'm looking around, here's the pieces of equipment you got to get rid of. Here's the links where you can find the products you should be reselling. Like, we figured out for $80, every group fitness participant is going to need to buy these things to do group fitness in this new era. I measured out the room for them. Here's your 6 feet of space. I put tape on the floor. You can, even if you can't go into the facility, your contributions can come in the form of, like, here's what I'm hearing. Is there anything I can do to support you in this process and reopening? For me, it's not the time to ask for a raise, because I know what I know what their run rate is, and I know how, we had to close our business, my husband and I, and we refunded $600,000 in revenue on one day. So I know what a run rate can do to a business. So I'm, as an instructor, not going to come at it from, hey, I've been doing all this back end work for you to retain your customers. What are you going to pay me? They've already been supporting me to the best of their ability, but I'm going to keep providing them a relationship with somebody who's going to provide solutions, not just ask questions. When are we going to do this? And what day are we opening? And what are you going to do about this? I'm going to come in with solutions, because in 6 months, you better believe, when we're back up at our full capacity, it's going to be really easy for me to write my request for better compensation. I will not have one regret in writing that email.
And the other thing is, like, as a business owner, when I do management seminars, I'm always telling people, if you're not getting an annual review or an every 6-month review, you need to walk into the office and say, I would like to schedule a review, and you evaluate yourself. And this is a way for the instructors to put together a list. And I'm giving another plug here, but I just worked all day on a 3-page outline of all the things we need to do to open. And what I will do is we're going to be talking about this next Tuesday on one of the webinars, but I think people want to look at it now, and I'm happy to post it on the bottom of this webinar. I did get a question in the box, and I'm wondering if Kia can answer this for us. What do you think we should charge? I mean, she's like, do I charge $15 or $10 or $5, or do I say just pay what you can afford?
Right. So remember that although there are thousands and thousands of Americans filing for unemployment, there are also thousands who have not been furloughed, who have not been laid off. So they still have money to spend. I mean, toilet paper stock has probably gone astronomically up. People can spend money right now, but you also just have to do your research on your market to know what your market base is and what their income base is, and just do your research to compare yourself to what other businesses have done and are doing. Also, going back to that whole surveying your audience, you got to know who your people are and how they can engage with you. Speak their love language, all right? But don't undercut yourself because you're such a nice person and you want to do right and change the world. You still got to put food on your table too. So never ever sell yourself short. You know, you can always price high and then give discounts later, or a one day discount. You know, look at what major brands are doing right now. your favorite restaurant, although you can't go fraternize or sit at a table with them. They've changed their marketing to say, hey, but you can still come and pick up food. But that does not mean that they changed the prices on the menu. Think about that.
And
Sarah,
also,
can I? Oh,
yes,
sorry.
and also limiting the number of people that can be in the Zoom class so you can get a little bit more personal with each of them. Sometimes you take your most popular instructor in your facility and just say, yes, they teach free on Monday and Wednesday, but on Friday we have a private small group training and we charge extra for it. So think about that. I really love that. Trisha.
That's you were going exactly where I was going, which is just limit capacity. There's no reason capacity. You could say you want to set capacity for any reason, but if you set capacity to create a need, there you go. I was also going to say one of the things to figure out in all of this is what is your, we've talked about this a lot, Sarah, you and I, what is your why, right? So if you're an instructor right now, and I'll use an example of Seattle. You're in Seattle, your husband works for Amazon, your job, maybe you had a full-time job that you're still working from home, you're both working, teaching was a part-time hustle, and you in your mind are like, well, I can just give my time to be nice, whatever that is. I think this is like a PSA to those of you who have the ability to give your services for free. There are populations, there are active aging facilities that don't have good content coming into them. There are public schools dying for like 2 or 3 10-minute PE workouts every day that speak to different age groups. If you have the ability to give your time and you don't need money right now, God bless you, send me a check. But if that's the case, congrats, that's awesome. But think about, contemplate that you could donate your time in a space that wouldn't harm your industry.
Very good. Jessica, I know you wanted to share something.
I think it goes back to what Trisha was saying before of working with your club, because if you are the one body pump instructor in your club that's charging half the price as everyone else, you're throwing them kind of under the bus. But if you work together with the people and your teams that you're going to go back live working with and come up with something with your group fitness manager or just together as instructors and decide on a price point that's going to uplift your entire hyper local community in a way that you can then charge, and it's across the board that makes sense for everyone. And like Trisha was saying, if you want to donate your services, donate it to your community. They're the ones hurting right now. Donate it to facilities and locations that you know don't have the time or the energy to have a support system right now.
And Lawrence, you were talking a little bit about the active agers, and I think it was on one of your webinars, you were talking about how you donate time to the nuns and do a workout like even in a retirement center.
Correct. The Sisters of St. Joseph in Philadelphia have closed circuit TVs, which is wonderful. And a lot of retirement community and active aging centers, or aging centers if they're not active, they're in their rooms and at least they can turn on and get streamed the announcements. Now, because the sisters asked me, can you create some things for us to stream morning and afternoon? So we have 6 workouts, because they'll get mass streamed on Sundays, that I've done, and they stream that twice a day, 45-minute workouts. But I thought, well, if that's my social good effort, why don't I think about contacting a few others? So I went up to Julie and Colin Milner and ICAA, and I said, let's strategize with active aging. These people are not going to get on Zoom because they are not near their grandkids to get them on their devices. They probably couldn't even find Facebook if they're not already connected, but they could turn on their TV. So for all the people who specialize in active aging, call to action social media, get some ways to record yourselves, find some investment opportunities, some people who are willing to donate are the first ones free, and if we like it, you record some content for them that they can broadcast you over all their facilities or to all their residents all across the US and all countries that speak your language. You do a little bit of research, but what do you got? No time? I mean, I think if we want to be social in a time of physical distancing, we got potential for social connection. And they need us more than ever, because I think they could turn on their device, meaning TV, and see you to get some laughter or Tai Chi or breathing, or just sit, even if they can't hear you, no matter how high they turn their volume. Bless their heart, they're getting something beyond Hogan's Heroes.
But what I keep reading is they don't know the technology. So I was watching, I was talking to Travis Barnes, who owns, I think it's 333, and he is a franchisor. He owns several clubs, and he has one of his facilities tends to attract more active agers. And so what he's had to do is he's done some Facebook posts on how to get on Zoom. And he does it very slowly, and he takes the screen. So he actually did webinars, and he's had to do multiple webinars to get these people that he feels like he wants to jump through the TV and strangle, but he's helping them to get on the technology. And I do have to say that the social media, it has been wonderful. We actually did a family dinner with our relatives in New York, and they're 86 and 90, I don't know, 70, I don't know, in their 80s, okay? And we had to talk them through getting Zoom, because the camera was like down here and we were seeing their foreheads, it was fun and we laughed. But now, we do it like once a week and they're getting it up. Who cooked? I did not cook. I don't like you anymore. Okay. So the surveys, I'm not quite sure we talked all about the surveys there, but I love that. I thought that was wonderful. And there is another question. In a world that seems to have gone fully online at the moment, how do we maintain that personal connections that our clients want on social media? Because I know we're sharing, but I think it was Trisha that was actually talking about this. Like, how do we really connect with people?
Well, I think now we more than ever have to be asking real questions. It's not so much, thank you for coming to my class. Did this class meet your needs? What are your goals right now? It's as we go forward, and maybe we're not seeing them online every day, maybe we're seeing them half in person and half in class. We need to tie those two things together. So I would be looking for really creative, synergistic ways to both work with people in person but connect those people to the people over here who are going to remain at home in the live streaming atmosphere. And I haven't quite figured out how I want to do that other than community-based challenges. Like, okay, these 10 customers are going to be working out from home for health reasons. These 10 are going to be in class. Is anybody willing to have a friend? Is anybody willing to have a workout buddy that's not in the space with you? I mean, I'm just like, in my mind, I'm just trying to think of different ways in which we can build on this community connection we've had. And my experience with the active aging population has been so positive with technology. This is the first time my clients have become more flexible, even when they don't understand it. Instead of saying, we did Passover dinner. I think I sent you a text. Did this massive Passover dinner, and it was so lovely. But if you weren't patient enough, definitely. Well, it's easy to cook for Passover. Boil an egg. So it's the easiest meal in the world. So what the real thing that has happened is, I think the active aging community has done a wonderful job of saying, gosh, this is the first time. If I don't learn this technology, I can't be a part of my Passover dinner with my family. Or if I cannot figure out how to get into a Zoom call, I can't learn this education that I so want to learn. So it's been a really good motivator, because oftentimes as you get older, something comes at you. I'm even going through that now, where like when I first started TikTok, which I'm now on. But it's like well, just for my daughter. When you first get into something, there's a real tendency to say, I don't get it, throw your hands up, call the person who does that stuff for you, young child. So I think it's actually been a really fun time to be somebody 70 plus who had done this to technology and is now doing this.
Right.
I
And,
think it's awesome.
pulling in, which is amazing. And Jessica, you were going to say something?
You were asking about how to build like community and camaraderie together.
Yes.
And I love Trisha's point about bringing people in together for groups and for challenges. But the way to really foster more connection is to ask questions. Even if you're on Facebook, when people comment back, ask questions, start conversations, just like you would if you were in person, seeing them there in front of you at a restaurant or in your class or just in the gym lobby. Ask questions, create conversations. Post and like on social. Don't just expect because you post and like that you posted something that they're just going to gravitate towards you. Go and actually spend time on social media, proactively reaching out to your community, proactively reaching out to your customers, creating conversations, asking questions, being social on social media is how you're going to build connections between your customers.
And it's interesting, somebody, Natalie, has commented, my group does a chat on Saturday at 10 a.m. I guess every Saturday at 10 a.m. And they do a devotional, so they make it a little bit of religious, or they do a book reading, or they developed a club kind of outside of just the parameters of fitness. And I think that's interesting. Jessica, could you elaborate on some of the challenges, like the community challenges that you've seen be successful?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of them are like 7-day self-care challenges that are one little tip to keep them going through the week. And it can be in a private Facebook group or WhatsApp or Remind app or anything that you're using to just keep people connected. They feel like they have accountability to you, but also to their group. So it's little simple movement challenges, self-care challenges. It can be about hydration. It can be about stretching or walking around your neighborhood. It could be even training for a 5K, but distantly training. So you're checking in with your group and telling them where you ran that day, what you ran that day, sharing playlists, getting them moving as a group, even though we're socially and physically distancing right now. So a lot of those challenges can be run on social media, and it can be lead generation for you where you are doing it for free, connecting and bringing more people in, or it can be some way that you do transfer into asking people for money. So if you are teaching free right now, offer that you're going to launch a 14-day challenge where every day they're going to get a 10-minute workout and every day they're going to get so on and so forth, so that they're paying for that challenge. And it doesn't seem so odd when you go back to your regular challenge, your regular schedule, and continue to ask them for money.
And I really like somebody put into the chat, they were talking about a church group. So what they did is they offered a in-home workout for their church group, which I think is a way to reach out of our typical clients that we already have, that already love us. We don't care about the front row. I had them at hello. I want to get more people involved in fitness. So I like that, reaching out as well. And then I'm going to ask another question. I think this might be our last question because we're getting close to time. Should you focus your attention to one platform more than another right now? And how do you know which one? And I know, Trisha, you tapped on, what is it, TikTok. And I'm totally into it. I have no time to do it, but I totally swear to you I'm going to do something on that platform. But Jessica, you're laughing. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think right now it's not about growth. You're not looking to add a new platform or to become a superstar on somewhere new. You need to be where your people are. So if your people know that you're on Facebook, be on Facebook. If your people know you're on Instagram, be on Instagram. But be where your demographic is, and be where your followers and your audience is. If you start to just change over, all of a sudden, they're not going to follow you. Like, they're going to stay where they are. So don't think of so much about growth right now as much more about connectivity, of making them not necessarily loyal to you, but know that you are the expert in the field, and they can come to you if they have any questions or they're looking for a resource, because that's what they're really striving for right now. They want to know that they're supported, but in an educated manner. and something that they trust you because, like Lawrence brought up before, you're an educated professional. So stay where you are, stay where your people are. But instead, if you want to post often, use as many different ways to post on that platform as possible. So on Facebook, you have your page, your profile is evergreen content, but you have stories and you have live that you can do as well. Instagram, you're able to do IGTV, your profile, stories, live. Use all of those aspects to be able to reach people and how they want to take in social media.
Great. And Kia, you've been nodding. I know you have something to say.
I just agree with what Jessica is saying. It all depends on your target audience and how your consumer chooses to engage with you. The people who I serve on a regular basis are not using TikTok. And if they are, they're not using it well. So that's not my target group right now. So I'm going to stick to the Facebookers and the Instagrammers, even though, you know, my teenage nephews are saying like, oh my goodness, I would never use those tools. But that's just how my users and I engage. If I'm writing a letter to an aging client who doesn't have an iPhone, then that's what I'm going to do as well. It all depends on how we can reach our audience.
Oh, wonderful. Now, we are almost out of time. We've got 1 minute left for you guys. I'm going to ask for a closing statement for all of you, please. I feel like I'm on the Brady Bunch. Here we go. Lawrence, I'm going to start right to my right or left or whatever that is.
Closing statement for social media. Happy birthday, Manuel. Happy birthday to all of you who might be watching, because today starts a fresh start on social media. So whatever you're doing, maybe up your game just a little bit by being a little bit more social, depending on your country and your culture. Let people know if you didn't charge and you're going to start to charge, and you show your groceries that you're buying because of them, or feeding the empty kibble of your dog's container because of them, or going to the flower market, or going to your daughter's baby food supply because of the contributions you've gotten. Social media now lets us let everyone in on our secret. Think of the people that you follow and trust, and make sure you be aware of why you follow and trust them. And imitation is the highest form of flattery. Remember, social media is for tracking, TRACK. So make posts and follow posts that you T is trust, and R, relate to, not fake it, but faith it. A, admire. C, commit to what you believe to be true. And K, make posts that let people know you, not just when you're doing a burpee or a crunch. TRACK keeps us connected.
Very nice. Trisha.
I would just say that right now is not a time to think about growing your social media. It's about serving your existing customers. And that's been sort of our focus at Bar Above, is just everything we've done with our Facebook group has been about taking care of them and serving them, and you know, the daily webinars and the daily educations. Our goal has been to give to the existing customer, and then all of us need to stay in that zone of focusing on the customer that needs us most right now, and trying to help your health clubs stay healthy. We need the clubs that employ us. Our industry needs them more now than ever. It is not their fault that they laid you off. It is not their fault that they couldn't pay you. So be the solution, not the thorn in their side. Be a part of their big comeback, utilizing what you've built, the relationships you've built with your existing social media platforms, and get going. Do it.
I think that's great, because I got to tell you, every time I feel like I'm sinking into this social isolation and refunding all these people from California Mania and from Florida Mania that got canceled, and every time I feel like I'm drowning and pulling in, if I give, if I do the free webinars, if I do something good and help people on whether it's social media somehow connecting, it just saves me, which is wonderful. I'm with you, Trish. Jessica.
I feel like I should have prepared more for this ending statement after following those two. But I think my biggest takeaway right now for social media in our new normal is to remember your community. Be hyper local right now. You can touch so many people in your neighborhood, in your town, in your city. Remember that we're all going through this together. So while your gym is closed, so is somebody's restaurant down the road, and so is somebody's, private business that they own. If we come together and unite and work together as partners, we can really uplift our entire community. It's not just about fitness. It's about being able to survive in a wellness world. So reach out to other entrepreneurs in your area who need support, who need a way that they can reach people, so that others will see you doing that and do it in return. It is all right now about coming together and holding hands with the people that are your teammates, are your neighbors, are the people down the street from you, and being able to say, I'm here for you, I'm here to support you, and this is what I can do. How can we work together in order to come out stronger when we do go back to our normal life?
And I think that's great. And I think pivoting, I hear that word, I feel like I'm spinning. I've pivoted so much. You guys, I have to mention this. My team is texting me, live stream mania. Go to scwfit.com/online. Check out Livestream Mania. We had to cancel California. We canceled Florida. Our fingers are crossed with Atlanta. They open up Atlanta on Friday, at least a little bit. And I want you to take a look at it. And we're giving $100 off because we've got to give back. And this is a great way for us to shoot back in prepared with some of these wonderful presenters that we have here today. Kia, give us your best closing. Here you go, girl.
Best closing argument. I hope for all of us that we're able to find, I know that was a little point for you, my closing argument, attorney, but I hope that we all can find calmness in this chaos right now. I know it's a very complex structure that we're in right now, but remember that it's our duty to enrich experience for our engagers. Remember the intimacy, the closeness, the collectivism, the community, as Jessica mentioned, that we create in what we do. We bring people together, and we need that more than anything right now. Maybe make it your social responsibility to take care of yourself and to take care of your people. Reinforce your presence, reinforce your equity, your brand positioning, because now's an opportunity to grow, maybe not expand, but to grow and to uplift. And lastly, I guess, if the elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy, yes? Punch a higher floor. Any Prince fans out there, everybody get live. Let's get crazy.
All right, thank you all. Trisha Murphy-Madden, love you, girl. Jessica Maurer, amazing presenter, lovely keynote. Lawrence Biscontini, I can't even say anymore. Kia, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a true pleasure. One more time, 1, 2, 3, let's all sing happy birthday to Manuel. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. Don't make me sing along. To you. Could you sing? All right, that's enough. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. I want to thank my SCW staff. Adam and Sean, you guys rock. You did an amazing job. They are putting in time like I can't even tell you with these webinars and our certs and live stream mania. Thank them, you guys. It's our creative team is like saving us. Thank you all. Have a good night.